Hey guys, it's me. Today we're going to talk about this worksheet factoring quadratic trinomials 1b. So what's different from yesterday to today, or the last worksheet to this worksheet? The main difference is we're looking at problems where a is not 1. If you may remember this from Algebra 1, when a is not 1, it makes the process quite a bit more involved. Anyway, let's go ahead and check it out. Let's just do the first problem. Sorry. Alright, so we see here we have 2x squared plus 7x plus 3. So definitely this is a quadratic where a is 2, b is 7, and c is 3. I know I said this yesterday, hopefully you remember, that when we're doing the magic X, also called diamond, on the top we always have a times c. So remember yesterday, or maybe not yesterday, the last video I posted, when a was 1, a times c just ends up being c, but here a is 2 and c is 3, so 2 times 3 is 6, so it was 6 on the top. And then b on the bottom, remember b bottom, makes it easy to remember, is 7. I need two numbers that multiply to make the top and add to make the bottom. Well, there's only really two ways to make 6 with whole numbers, 1 times 6 or 2 times 3. And you could probably just do that in your head, that 1 times 6 is going to be the one that works here because 1 times 6 is 6 and 1 plus 6 is 7. Now, what makes it harder is not that in particular, it's that when we have a problem where a is not 1, we don't get to just jump in and say x plus 1 times x plus 6. And you can just quickly check that in your brain that it doesn't work. X times x is x squared, not 2x squared. 1 times 6 is 6, not 3. So this would be completely wrong. So hopefully you didn't write that down. So what we need to do instead here is we're going to make a box. And it's the same generic rectangle kind of a box that you use when you're multiplying. The difference here is we're going to put in the insides and then figure out the outsides. Now, in each box, something different goes. So in the first upper left, we use the whole first term, 2x squared. And in the bottom right, we use the whole last term, which is positive 3. And we don't need to write the plus sign, but if it was negative, we would write negative. And then in these other two boxes, that's actually where we use our 1 and our 6. So I'm going to have 1, and I'm not just going to have 1, I'm going to have 1x here, and then I'm going to have over here on the other one 6x. So again, the main thing is, do you understand where those numbers came from? 2x squared came from the original equation, and the positive 3 on the bottom right also comes from the original equation. The 1x and 6x come from our diamond. Now, what do I need to do? I need to figure out the outsides that will make the insides true. So we gotta start just with the top left. Right here it says 2x squared. If I'm going to make 2x squared with whole numbers, I'm going to need to do 2x times 1x. And we have to think about which one makes sense to go where. If I put my 2x on the top, for example, and my 1x here, well, I'm going to end up with a problem where turning 2x times what gives me 1x. And it's true that you can do it with a fraction, but we don't want to make things complicated like that. So instead of putting the 2x on the top, let's try putting the 2x in the front and the 1x on the top. Well, this is obviously better because I know how to turn 2x into 6x. I'm just going to do 2x times 3x. I'm sorry, not times 3x. Times plain old 3. So 2x times 3 is 6x. That works. Now what about here? Well, over here, I already have 1x. So to get 1x, I'm going to need to multiply that simply by 1. 1x times 1 is equal to 1x. And finally, I check, is it true that 1 times 3 is 3? And yes, obviously that's true. So this method is sometimes called the X box method because it starts with a magic X and then ends with a box. And again, since factoring is the opposite of multiplying, then it's the outsides that I care about as my two binomials. I'm going to have my factored form is 2x plus 1 times 1x, and I need that 1 there, I'll just write x, and plus 3. And the reason it's plus is because 3 is positive here. Alright, that's how we factor a quadratic trinomial expression when a is not 1. Sorry about that, I'm getting a lot of notifications. Yeah, so, check it out. I believe that's what the rest of the problems are like. Yeah, and hey, it's almost spring break, so yay for that.